Today we'll be creating a Tic Tac Toe game board, and really you can make these in a variety of themes. That makes it kind of fun. But the first thing you'll need to do is make a template similar to this. So what I did is I just hand drew a bunch of circles. So I started with the circle in the center, and then I drew circles around the center just with a pen and outlined them with a Sharpie marker. So now we'll cut this out of the paper. I'm using approximately half the package of the cloud clay, and what I'm doing right now is I'm just kneading it, and I'll actually press it flat. Remember that this product really stretches, so let's press it flat with our fingers, and then you'll take some sort of rolling pin. I have an acrylic brayer here to flatten it out, and what you want is for it to be bigger than your template pattern. I'm just going to check it and make sure that my sheet here is bigger than my pattern. And it is. So now what I can do is I can simply trace, and I'm just going to use a ballpoint pen. I'm just going to trace the outside edges here. And then we'll cut this. Like this. Your cloud clay is an air dry clay, so this will store very well as long as you wrap it in some kind of cling wrap or saran wrap. Make sure that you don't have any air pockets in with your clay, and then I put it into its original packaging, and then I put it into a Ziploc bag. What we're doing now was cutting out a big piece of pizza with a pair of scissors. So what I'm doing now is I'm just going to kind of smooth out the edges a little bit. I've used my circle template to cut a white circle and a blue circle. And essentially what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a checkerboard. So I'll take my blue circle and I'm going to cut it into thirds both ways. So there's one. There's the second cut. Oops, that stuck together there. Okay. Be careful not to stretch these out too bad. Whoop. It's so sticky, it kind of sticks to itself. And then I'm going to cut each piece in thirds until you get pieces like this. Take these square pieces, not the round edges, but the squares, and we're going to place them on our circle. Okay. Just like this. I'm going to press them in so that they stay, and I'll actually even flatten them in with my brayer. And I'm going to go around with my scissors, and I'm going to trim this and make this a little more circle shape, and kind of refine that shape so it's more of a circle, and it does not have to be perfect. So there's our checkerboard. We can set these shapes out of the way, and we'll bring our flower back in, and we'll lay this down right in the center of our flower. Just like that. Next, let's add a border. I've rolled a log of blue clay, and we'll just place it around the circle center to create a border. And snip off the edge, press that in. Now you can add any kind of texture or design to your flowers if you want to. You can go in, I'm using a little nail, or you could use a toothpick, and you could give the flower some petal marks. This kind of adds a little detail. We can also go back in after this is dry with a little bit of acrylic paint. That's kind of cute too. So now we're going to set our game board base to the side and we're going to create the game pieces. I thought in keeping this kind of with a fall theme it'd be fun to include some little, well, these are purple birds, but like little blackbirds or little crows and some little pumpkins. So let me show you how to make the game pieces. To create the little bird, what we'll do is we'll take a ball of purple clay like this and just flatten it on the bottom. That way they'll sit nice and neat on your game board. And then I have two logs here, and one I begin to fold in half to create a V, and this creates the wing. So just fold that in half and then press it to the side. Put his little wings on. That way he can fly. Okay. And a little ball of yellow. If we pinch it and create a point, we get a little beak. And then give him some eyes so he can see where he's flying. Okay. So you'll need to make 5 of these. Generally I make 6, that way I have one extra in case I lose it. Let's go on with creating the pumpkin. What I've done is I've taken a ball of orange clay, similar to the same size as what we used on the bird, and I've added the marks to create the pumpkin. I've also flattened a little ball of green clay into a teardrop shape, and you'll notice it has a point here at the end, so I've just laid it on top of the pumpkin, and right here I have a hole, and that's for my stem to fit in. So just roll a little log and press your stem in and you have a pumpkin. Now let's take a look at our finished game board.